He tries to get the upper hand with his bare hands. Interestingly enough, while all this is going down, a third man enters the picture. He's on the right side of your screen, a customer browsing. He gets one look at what's going on and walks out of the store, never lending any assistance. Ospina, though, fared well even without that guy's help. The suspect finally gives up and runs out empty-handed. But Ospina isn't through with him yet. He follows him out.
After I went after him, trying to cover myself, that's when the guy hit me with a machete.
That final blow costing Ospina 12 stitches on his right hand. But a dozen stitches and some minor cuts isn't bad for the cashier who gave the robber, who expected to run out of this store with some money, a run for his money.
Incredible. That was Christine Cruz reporting. All right, should animal acts be banned from the circus? Some folks say yes. We'll tell you why. And finding the right Halloween costume can be a ghoulish experience. We'll tell you how to find the perfect one. Plus, Mariah Carey gets a very expensive hand-me-down. You're watching Fox News Channel, and this is your world.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to slip into the woods over here, and we're going to be looking for some turkey scratching.
Here, turkey, turkey, turkey. Here, turkey, turkey, turkey. I did it.
Well, those are geese.
Introducing Cozone.com, the place to find computer help and buy what's right for you.
I think they like that.
Cozone.com, we can help.
Hey, Baxter, what's for lunch?
Chicken noodle. Been eating it since I was a kid.
Yeah, I used to eat condensed soup, too. And then I learned my ABCs. Newsflash, Baxter. You're an adult now. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso chicken noodle with only white meat chicken, big vegetables, and just the right seasonings. See what I mean?
Much better.
Told you. Now, want to talk about that lunchbox?
Discover the better taste of Progresso.
What will the credit card of the future look like?
The future?
Think of the possibilities.
The world's changing.
We'll need a card that can change with it.
What will a credit card look like that has an introductory rate of 0% and then a fixed rate as low as 9.99%?
Definitely not like anything in my wallet.
That has no annual fee and gives you the flexibility to pay over time.
So, I'll be able to extend the payments on my new lunar vacation?
What will a credit card look like that provides guaranteed protection from online fraud?
I don't know.
But I think it has my name on it.
A card with a built-in smart chip to give it ever-evolving capabilities.
A credit card
With a brain?
that makes other credit cards seem so
20th century.
Actually, it'll look like this. Introducing Blue from American Express, a whole new kind of credit card.
We really do live in an interesting time.
To apply, call 1-800-BLUE-600.
I have seen the future.
And it fits in my wallet.
Pat Buchanan failed in the Republican Party. I mean, he would have gotten no votes. So he was virtually thrown out of the party by the fact that he did so badly. And I don't think the Reform Party should be taking losers.
The stakes get higher, but will he put his money where his mouth is? Special guest, Donald Trump. That's this week on Fox News Sunday. Check your local listing.
Welcome back, everybody. Lions and tigers jumping through rings of fire, bears balancing on beach balls. Sounds like fun at the circus, right? Well, some people say, no, it's wrong. There's new legislation to ban animal acts. Will the circus ever be the same? Jonathan Seri has our Fair and Balanced report.
Circus animals on parade, a sight you won't see in Redmond, Washington ever again. City officials have passed an ordinance
Prohibiting the display of wild or exotic animals for public entertainment or amusement.
The concern is not so much outright abuse, but claims from animal rights activists that even under the best conditions, circus life is cruel to animals.
Extreme confinement, incredible boredom.
What are we going to do, folks? We want to say we're going to ban the one thing that helps support them? Entertainment?
There was a time that the Romans thought it was entertainment to feed the Christians to the lions.
Debate was spirited, but in the end, the council voted to ban the creatures of the big top.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
And that passes unanimously.
It's not just a matter of going after certain types of entertainment. It's saying we are enlarging our respect for
other sentient beings on the planet.
The council members who sponsored the ordinance would like to see it expand beyond the Redmond city limits.
Once folks think about it and come to the realization here's something they can do, I believe other cities will follow. At least I hope they will.
One other city already is. The mayor of Seattle is proposing a similar ban. If he gets his way, this would become the first major metropolis in the U.S. to outlaw circus animals.
If circuses go, then the next is probably rodeos, and then after that it's probably fishing and probably zoos and all those types of things. And we think it's inappropriate for an activist group to try to legislate our behaviors and our choices in family entertainment.
Exotic creatures have been featured in circuses for centuries, but as animal activists push more new legislation, it is unclear whether the tradition will survive in the next millennium. In Seattle, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Halloween is only 2 days away. For most, it's fun, celebrated with trick-or-treating and dressing up as your favorite ghoul. But for the black cat, long thought of as a sign of bad luck, Halloween can be a pretty bad time, especially for the black cat. Animal shelters and adoption centers are refusing to let people adopt these black cats in October, fearing that they'll be used in satanic rituals for Halloween or abandoned after the holiday. Joining me now is Hetty Litke, the placement director for the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. It's a big problem, huh?
Well, we find it is. It isn't just the rituals we're afraid of, it's also just the very fact of Halloween. It's almost like rent a cat for a party and then you discard it afterwards.
What do they do?
Well, there are a lot of rituals that take place with sacrifices. Black cats have long been known to be used in sacrifices in satanic rituals, not to be confused with any other kind of witchcraft, white magic, or any of the Celtic religions of the earth. But there are many rituals. In another shelter where I worked, we used to find body parts the day after Halloween of chickens, goats, sheep, black cats. So we're just,
really?
it's
So
a matter of
still
precaution.
doing this crap today?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's the 21st century, and we're still sacrificing animals, believe it or not.
So you have a rule: the 3 days before, the 3 days after, you will not sell a black cat to anyone, even a family that looks
Adopt a
good
black
and
cat.
whatever.
Yes,
Nothing,
it's
right?
just a precaution. If you want that black cat, we'll be happy to adopt it to you 3 days after Halloween.
How do you
Just a
know
precaution.
that it's safe 3 days after Halloween?
Well, basically, the dates that we have for all the rituals, we try to, just as a precaution, a couple of days before and a couple of days after, since the calendar is never exact. So we just try to...
When you have people who come in and to try to adopt an animal of any sort, a black cat more to the point now around Halloween, do you size them up? Do you think, you know, all right, this looks good, this doesn't look good?
Well, as with all other adopters that come in, we ask them to fill out a questionnaire and we do reference checks. So we'll do an even more in-depth reference check. If they specifically come in for a black cat, we'll just outright not adopt at this time of year.
And I guess a telltale sign if someone belongs to a cult of any sort, they're
Right.
definitely not getting any animal.
Or if they come in dressed as, you know, in a costume and we know it's a prank that they just want it for a party, we will.
Have you seen that in the past where people do that, something that stupid?
We've had an incident several years ago of someone who adopted a black cat, specifically asked for one, and when we did our follow-up calls, she told us the cat was dead, and we asked, well, how did it die? She was very mysterious about it. We asked if we could pick up the body. She said, sure, and when we got there was no person, no cat, no anyone.
So you suspected
So
that the cat was used in some sort of cult?
Of course, we don't have proof, but there's been many other incidences in other shelters, more in the rural areas, I would say.
You hear
in New York
sporadic
City.
reports. I know this was covered, I guess, in USA Today, and some of these others, that there's actually an increase in this sort of behavior,
Absolutely.
which flies in the face of
Absolutely.
logic.
Yeah. I think it goes in spurts, but I don't understand what the...
What triggers it?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Just as with murders of people, and it happens with animals in spurts as well.
Now, your policies are a little bit more liberal than others. You were telling me there are some agencies that just won't sell for a month before and a month after.
They'll do the whole month of October. They'll
Right.
do all the Friday 13th, which we observe also. But there are many holidays in the calendar that other shelters do observe. The whole month, we feel, is a little overboard. We don't...
Well, I guess the fear is with November 1st, which for many Christians, particularly Catholics, All Saints Day, there's a feeling that all the more for witchery or that type of thing, right?
So we, as precaution, use the 3 day after as well as before.
How do you know, though, well after the fact, if you sell a black cat to someone, I mean, this type of occult activity goes on year-round. How do you know you're not giving an animal to someone who might kill it?
Well, you don't. You just hope, you pray for the best, and you do the reference checks. We do follow-up calls, and you just hope for the best. We try to do the best adoptions possible.
All right, Hetty Litke, thank you very much to the ASPCA. We're going to have a lot more right after this. Stick around.
We learn.
We plan to retire rich.
$7.95 stock trades. 24-hour live help online. Comprehensive research. SureTrade.com, the smart tool for smart investors.
A bear, barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him stronger, faster, softer, better. Than your BattleTax Global Assault. Stronger, faster, better.
Hi, I need your help. Every 12 minutes, someone dies from leukemia, lymphoma, or myeloma. The Leukemia Society of America is finding cures through research and helping patients and their families. Won't you join me in helping them?
Hi, I'm George Foreman, and this is my lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine. It grills delicious food in a healthy way, fast. And now I've teamed up with the folks at Sears to make my grill better than ever. Together, we've added this unique, handy warming lid, so preparing tasty meals is even easier. The great features of my grill will make meal times faster and easier in your home.
George Foreman's grill is a real time saver. Since it cooks from both sides at once, it cuts most cooking times in half. The large grilling surface lets me make enough for everyone. I use it all the time. The slanted grill channels fat and grease away from food while it cooks, right into handy trays. With the floating hinge, thick chops, chicken breasts, even bacon all grilled evenly. Seared on the outside, moist and flavorful inside. Meanwhile, the lid warms rolls, buns, biscuits, tortillas, even pita bread. Now we even have time for a hot breakfast. And the double-coated non-stick surface makes cleanup a breeze.
At $59.99, George Foreman's grilling machine with warming lid is a great value, and it's available only from Sears.
It even comes with a spatula that fits right into the grooves of the grill plate. I love it so much, I gave one to my mother and my brother, who was living on takeout until he discovered that even he could make a home-cooked meal. Even when I get home late, I can serve a delicious meal in minutes.
Be a champ in your kitchen. Now with this handy warming lid, available only from Sears, I'm so proud of it, I put my name on it. And because it's from Sears, you know your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back.
Have your Sears card or other credit card ready and call 1-800-403-5588 now to order George Foreman's grilling machine with Sears exclusive warming lid. It's yours for only $59.99 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-403-5588 now.
This is a Fox News alert. Bill Gates and the government will have to wait at least another week. The judge in the Microsoft antitrust trial has delayed for at least 7 more days, announcing the first phase of his verdict, meaning that the earliest date for a decision will be November 5th. Court officials announced last week that the judge's factual findings will be issued on an upcoming Friday at 6:30 p.m. in Washington, but they did not indicate which Friday. Under rules adopted by the court, U.S. District Judge Thomas Penfield Jackson's office will notify lawyers in the case after the close of financial markets that a decision is coming, but even lawyers won't know the outcome until it is publicly disclosed that evening. Gates, during an appearance today in Florida, declined to discuss the antitrust trial or the judge's pending decision. Keep in mind what's at issue here is deciding whether Microsoft is a bully and unfairly takes its advantage in software into other fields like the internet, which could say a breakup of the company is imminent if the judge rules against it. We shall see. For the second year in a row, hundreds of thousands of fans lined the streets of New York City to cheer the Yankees, this time for a World Series sweep. Fox's Rick Leventhal has more.
Well, the ceremony just ended here moments ago. The entire Yankees organization honored by the city of New York and the mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, who presented each of the coaches and the staff and the players with keys